Naruto fans generally agree that Sasuke was justified in wanting revenge against Itachi. But the moment that hatred and desire for vengeance turned against the Hidden Leaf, everyone started calling Sasuke a villain. But was Sasuke really a villain, or was he merely a justified victim who was right all along? Well, that's why today we're talking Sasuke was justified and the Hidden Leaf are the real villains. But before we get into anything, guys, please, for me, like this video, subscribe to the page, and hit that noti bell. Alright, getting right into it, first and foremost, like I said at the beginning, pretty much everyone agrees that Sasuke definitely had a right to seek revenge against Itachi. I mean, this is someone who, as a child, had to witness his entire clan being slaughtered. Not just the aftermath, but Itachi quite literally put him under Tsukuyomi and made him relive those moments over and over again, to the point where Sasuke actually activated his Sharingan. And he was so scarred from the event, he didn't realize he activated his Sharingan until many years after that. So when we're introduced to this character and we hear about his vendetta against this one person who did all of this wrong to him, we actually are very compelled and we want to see this character succeed. However, along the way, he takes a few steps in his journey that a lot of fans definitely disagreed with. The first one actually comes before Itachi was even killed by Sasuke, and it comes before Sasuke's rage is even turned against the Hidden Leaf. And that's why this one is probably the strangest one for me, because I 100% agree with Sasuke's decision. And the decision I'm talking about is his decision to leave the Hidden Leaf village. You see, a lot of people often state that if Sasuke just stayed in the Hidden Leaf village, he actually would have grown even stronger because Kakashi was literally right there and he had access to the Sharingan. So he should have been able to teach Sasuke way more than Orochimaru, right? Well, no. In fact, it's during the Chunin exams that we see Kakashi actually go off and train Sasuke one-on-one. And over the course of this time, Sasuke is able to learn Chidori, one of, if not the strongest technique in Kakashi's arsenal. This is actually stated by Might Guy during the Chunin exams, that it's the only jutsu in Kakashi's arsenal that wasn't copied. And it's often stated to be Kakashi's strongest jutsu, at least at this point in time. And although for a couple brief moments it seems that the Chidori is the ultimate weapon, it is shown very quickly that it has a ton of weaknesses. Sasuke isn't able to defeat Gaara with the Chidori. There's also a moment that is considered anime canon where Team 7 minus Kakashi have to protect a runner from enemy shinobi. And during this battle, Sasuke clashes with a sword that is pretty powerful. So powerful, in fact, that it's able to repel the Chidori. And although Sasuke is able to put a little bit of a fracture in that sword, he isn't able to overcome it. However, when you insert Naruto into this situation, Naruto uses his Rasengan and is able to shatter the sword. This is something that Sasuke is forced to see. So now, on two different occasions, Naruto is able to achieve something that Sasuke simply couldn't do, even though Sasuke was using the strongest weapon in his arsenal, the Chidori, which, to his knowledge, is the strongest jutsu in Kakashi's arsenal. And while it's probably bad enough for Sasuke to have to witness Naruto becoming so much stronger after training with a legendary Sannin, it's made way worse when Itachi shows up and Sasuke uses all of his training, everything he's been doing for the past 5 years to get stronger, all for one goal, is all rendered completely useless. You see, Sasuke sees Itachi, and at this moment, he activates his Chidori, and he goes in for a killing blow. But it's at this time that Itachi simply blocks it. He redirects the Chidori, catches Sasuke's arm, and then absolutely breaks it. And it's at this moment that he beats the brakes off of Sasuke, and he once again puts him under Tsukuyomi. And also, keep in mind, Sasuke knew that Kakashi had an encounter with Itachi, an encounter that led to Kakashi being totally out of commission. So with all that being said, it would stand to reason that when Sasuke is confronted with Orochimaru multiple times, he is going to start to wonder about that power. And also add into the fact that when Sasuke faces off against Hidden Sound Village Ninja, he is absolutely no match for them until he utilizes the power that Orochimaru granted him. So this right here is showcasing to Sasuke that the quickest path to power and the quickest path to great power is Orochimaru. So to me, so far, Sasuke is still 100% justified in everything he's done, especially wanting to leave the Hidden Leaf Village. Because from Sasuke's perspective, he's already learned all of Kakashi's strongest techniques. And keep in mind, this is at a point where Kakashi didn't have the ability to utilize the Mangekyo Sharingan. So even when it would come to utilizing the Sharingan even better, matter, it wouldn't be to the degree that Sasuke needs it to be. But aside from this, I feel like most fans up to this point are pretty much on Sasuke's side as far as what he does. Not many people have a complaint with him killing Orochimaru, him building his own team in Hebi, and up to this point, Sasuke has been pretty noble. Like I mentioned, he does kill Orochimaru. However, aside from that, he refuses to kill other people, and he even tells his new team not to kill anyone, and their only true target is Itachi Uchiha and the members of the Akatsuki, all in order to get him to his ultimate goal, that ultimate goal being getting revenge on Itachi. But anyone else they encounter over this time period, they get spared, and that's because Sasuke doesn't want to kill anyone, because he is still at heart a good person. However, that being said, there is a drastic shift in the character of Sasuke, and that happens after he's able to kill Itachi and he has a one-on-one conversation with Tobi, who reveals himself to be Madara Uchiha, and it's at this time he shares with Sasuke the true tragedy of the Uchiha clan and the true tragedy of Itachi Uchiha. What Itachi actually had to go through, why Itachi did what he did, and why the real villain in the story wasn't Itachi at all. It was actually the Hidden Leaf Village, and more specifically, the Hidden Leaf Elders, because they were the ones who forced Itachi's hand. They basically told Itachi, you can choose between slaughtering your entire clan or side with your clan and watch as all of them are slaughtered alongside your brother Sasuke. So all of this was done because Itachi loved Sasuke so much. So Sasuke, hearing this, after spending more than half of his life dedicated to one goal, that one goal being to kill Itachi, now has his entire world flipped upside down. Now he doesn't truly understand what is right and wrong. The person he was supposed to hate and the person that he was supposed to get vengeance upon was actually the true victim in this whole scenario. And he was actually the one person who was looking out for Sasuke. The one person who was actually genuinely concerned with protecting Sasuke. So it's at this point we see a drastic shift in Sasuke. A shift that turns all of that hatred all towards the Hidden Leaf Village. And while every action isn't 100% justified that Sasuke takes, I do completely understand essentially everything he does from this point on. Whether that's joining the Akatsuki or hunting down the Eight Tails, it actually makes a lot of sense. You see, Sasuke has seen firsthand the power of a Jinchuriki, and because his new goal is to destroy the Hidden Leaf Village, he wants as much power as possible to do so. And by this point, he doesn't fully understand his own abilities. So having as much power to throw against the Hidden Leaf as possible is something he's absolutely going to do. And I feel like his vendetta is even more justified after his interactions with Danzo at the Five Kage Summit. You see, it's at that point he gets everything confirmed that was told to him by Madara up to that point. The true tragedy of Itachi Uchiha. But maybe even worse, you actually see the arrogance within Danzo. You see Danzo speaking about Itachi, speaking about the entire Uchiha clan, and speaking about Sasuke as if he's just an angry child who understands nothing. But this is a very presumptuous way of thinking, and it showcases why Danzo is one of the greatest villains in Naruto. He's a horrific person who has done unspeakable things. I mean, he quite literally had an alliance with Orochimaru. That right there should just go to show you why he is a horrible person. And as fans of the series, we were all rooting for Sasuke in this moment to take down this horrible, cruel man, someone we had seen do multiple unspeakable acts up to this point. And while a lot of people agree with Sasuke taking out Danzo in this moment, the things that Sasuke would proceed to do after this moment is where a lot of people start to have a lot of issues with Sasuke as a character. Number one, him going up against Sakura and actually trying to kill her in this moment. However, coming to Sasuke's defense in this moment, I fully believe that he knew 100% Sakura had no interest in truly joining him. He never believed, even for a second, that Sakura was going to abandon the Hidden Leaf Village. He could tell by her incredibly expressive face when he literally said to her his new goal was to destroy the Hidden Leaf. She made it pretty obvious that she was not going to be fully on board with this. So, if you're not going to be on board, then you might be in the way. And to Sasuke, that's enough justification to take you out. Keep in mind, his entire world was taken away from him because of the Hidden Leaf Elders. So, by proxy, everyone in the Hidden Leaf is all guilty. All guilty by association. And after this point, Kakashi swoops in to save Sakura, and he and Sasuke start to have a battle. However, once again, Sasuke tries to kill Kakashi, and if Naruto hadn't showed up when he did, even Kakashi states that Sasuke probably would have ended up killing him, and killing Sakura. But even in the moments when Sasuke was trying to kill Kakashi, his former sensei, I'm still on board with that decision. Because you see in this moment, once again, Kakashi is just saying the same things that he said to Sasuke before he abandoned the village. However, he's not truly trying to understand Sasuke's hatred, trying to understand the pain that Sasuke had been through. And this is probably even more egregious considering the fact that at this point, Kakashi had been told the truth about Itachi. So in this moment, Kakashi should have gone about this an entirely different way. Kakashi should have tried to empathize with Sasuke a little bit more, and he should have doubled down and actually condemned the actions of the Hidden Leaf and condemned the actions of the Hidden Leaf elders. But speaking of that, this is when Naruto enters the fray, and Naruto actually does one of my favorite things in the entire series. He tells Sasuke he understands his hatred. Naruto understands why Sasuke is doing what he is doing. He understands why Sasuke wants this revenge even against the Hidden Leaf, because Naruto knows the truth about Itachi. And this moment actually catches Sasuke off guard, and you could tell that Sasuke was not expecting that in this moment. However, unfortunately, Naruto still states that if Sasuke does go after the Hidden Leaf village, Naruto is going to protect them at the end of the day. He will stand against Sasuke and he will fight him if he has to. However, he also says all of that hatred is going to be directed towards Naruto. He doesn't want any of it directed at the Hidden Leaf village. Only Naruto can take on all that hatred. And although we know eventually what Naruto means by this, taking every single attack that Sasuke can dish out, only to lead to Sasuke literally not being able to fight anymore. However, I think there's actually a way for Naruto to save Sasuke from true revenge in this moment right here. And it actually goes into why I truly believe Sasuke is so justified in wanting revenge. You see, even after that final climactic battle Naruto and Sasuke have against one another, there are still a couple of things that aren't truly resolved. While Danzo did pay the price for being the true mastermind behind the Uchiha massacre, there are multiple other people that did not have to pay any type of consequences for their actions. And no, I'm not saying that all of the Hidden Leaf should pay anything to Sasuke or do anything for him. However, there are two people in Naruto that definitely should have received some type of punishment. And those two people are Homura and Koharu, the two Leaf Elders. These two characters are two of the worst people in all of Naruto. And I believe in this moment where Naruto and Sasuke are having a conversation after Naruto interrupts the battle between Kakashi and Sasuke, I think Sasuke should have continued the dialogue with Naruto. He should have expanded upon the hatred that Naruto had already been talking about. And he should have pointed out that maybe you are correct, trying to destroy the entire Hidden Leaf village isn't the best solution. However, what would you have me do? Totally forgive the Leaf Elders who were the architects behind the biggest tragedies that I've ever experienced in my life? Or would you side with me in this moment and at least do something to those two people? Because keep in mind, it's at this point that Sasuke was just validated in his feelings. He had just killed Danzo. He had watched Danzo run away in fear from him, cower before his might. All of his rage was satiated in that moment. His entire vendetta had been brought to fruition at that time. And Sasuke got a ton of gratification and so much satisfaction from killing Danzo in that moment. So coming off of that high, now to be told that everything he's doing is wrong and to just surrender, just stop, give up on all that hatred, is never actually going to get through to Sasuke in that moment. However, what would get through to Sasuke would be expanding upon what Naruto had said to him. After Naruto states that he knows the truth about Itachi, he should have expanded a little bit more, and he should have asked Sasuke a couple of questions. And after asking those few questions, I feel like Sasuke could have come to an understanding with at least Naruto. That understanding being that maybe I won't destroy the entire Hidden Leaf village. However, these two elders need to face some type of consequences. And keep in mind, Naruto, these two elders have also been pretty cruel to you. They wanted Tsunade to keep you locked in the village. They also wanted Tsunade to keep you away from helping out during the Pain Assault. Keep in mind, the entire time that the Hidden Leaf was under attack by Pain, the literal leader of the Akatsuki, Lady Tsunade was being interrupted when she was trying to summon Naruto back to the Hidden Leaf to literally protect everyone and save them all, because the two Leaf Elders were too worried about the Jinchuriki of Naruto versus Naruto as a shinobi. And once again, they just listened to Danzo and were trying to convince and almost order Tsunade not to bring Naruto back to the village. And if Tsunade didn't have an extremely valid crash out, picking both of the elders up and throwing them to the ground and stating that Naruto Uzumaki is a hero and he he is a shinobi of the Hidden Leaf Village, they probably would have been successful in keeping Naruto away from the village, which would have literally led to the destruction of the Hidden Leaf. So in this moment, although Sasuke could not know about this information, if somehow Obito or even White Zetsu had informed him of these events, I feel like if Sasuke had shared this with Naruto, Naruto would have actually been on Sasuke's side, at least in punishing the two elders. Now, would Naruto have gone so far as to help Sasuke actually kill them? No, probably not. Naruto is the type of person that would have believed that they should remain alive. However, they do deserve some type of punishment, that punishment being probably jail time. However, if Sasuke clearly states that these two people need to die, I don't know that everyone else would have necessarily disagreed. Even Kakashi has acknowledged on multiple occasions that the two elders have done some pretty horrible things. When he's about to be made the 6th Hokage, when Tsunade is still in her coma, he is clearly not happy being around the two elders. And although he doesn't make this incredibly obvious to them, the audience is very privy to that information because we know Kakashi by this point. So we clearly know and we can clearly see that he has major issues with these two characters. And it's crazy to think that in this moment, Naruto and Kakashi could have truly saved Sasuke from continuing to be with the Akatsuki, from wanting revenge on the entire world. And all they had to do was agree that the two Leaf Elders that are still somehow in a position of power need to be at the very least extradited from their positions. They need to be removed at the very least. However, if they would go a little bit further than that and maybe banish them from the village, I think that would go even further in the eyes of Sasuke. So much so that he might actually change his mind. Or at the very least, if Sasuke looks at Kakashi and Naruto in this moment and states, okay, I won't go after the Hidden Leaf Village as a whole, but these two elders, Koharu and Homura, I want them to die. I want them to suffer the exact same fate that Danzo did. If you stand against me, or if Hidden Leaf Shinobi stand against me, I will take them down. However, if none of that happens, I will merely get my revenge upon these two, and that will be that. And while I know Naruto technically can't agree to the latter option, because the main hero of the story can't just condone serving up two people as lambs to the slaughter, I feel like the option before that is very plausible. Them being banished from the Hidden Leaf Village, especially because they've done a ton of horrible things. They've been involved in a ton of horrible decisions. And the only reason that this doesn't continue after this point is because of Naruto and Sasuke. If either of the elders did anything after the time of Naruto Shippuden and going into Boruto, Naruto and Sasuke just would not acknowledge them at all. And by this point, even the Fire Daimyo, especially by the time that Naruto becomes Hokage, realistically only listens to Naruto. Naruto is the ultimate nuclear deterrent. So essentially anything he says is not going to be argued with by the Fire Daimyo. And if the Fire Daimyo does not have an issue with it, the two elders are not going to say anything. But at this point in Boruto, we've actually seen that because Naruto and because Sasuke are no longer there, we have seen the elders start to creep back up again. So it just once again justifies that Sasuke 100% had a right to take vengeance against at least the people that were truly responsible, the people at the top of the Hidden Leaf Village. And unfortunately, if Hiruzen was still alive, that would probably include Hiruzen on that list as well. But I'm interested to hear from all of you. Do you all believe that Sasuke was justified in his quest for vengeance, or do you think Sasuke crossed the line somewhere along the way? And if that's the case, what do you think was the one action that made Sasuke truly into a villain? Let me know in the comments below. And while you guys are down there, please, for me, like this video, subscribe to the page, and hit that noti bell. And I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.